and they came. Please stand up with them right now and let's clap for you. Come on, let's appreciate all these guys. Thank you upstairs. I can see all of you now. Okay, now I thought you'd be about 4, but you guys have surprised me. Thank you so much for doing that. Now I would like to have let me see, how do I change this? How do I get this going? Okay, thank you, DJ. Get the music going. And so if you invited, how many of you invited people twice and they have come? Raise your hand. And they have come. And you're sure they have come. And they're here with you today. I want to see the first, how many, and they're here with you today. They're here. You come with that person you invited. Please come together. Let's give it up for her over there. Let me see in the middle. Anybody here? Anybody there in the middle? In the middle? Upstairs? I don't see anybody upstairs. All right. Come with the person you invited. Come on. Let's appreciate these guys. They've done a wonderful job. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. So who invited which one? You invited her. All right. So I have some giveaways. Osman, please, I want to be very generous today. I don't know what's inside here, but these products are made by Enviriza Nacho. Enviriza Nacho. EZN.com. Go there right now. Check it out. You can actually buy yourself some natural products made in Uganda for the skin of your color by a Ugandan. So God bless you. You can have that one. Give me one more for this lady over there. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate these two. And also, wow, so you guys can go away. Let me have you two come. Are you the inviter or the invitee? You invited him. Wow, he's looking so shy. Okay. So, now, this guy, I don't know if that's Enviriza Nacho, but I would like to, do I have a book that I can give away? A book that I can give away. Okay, are they coming here? Are they here? Or they are going to be here very, very soon. So, please, Enviriza Nacho. I don't know what God is telling you, Enviriza Nacho. And for you, the gentleman, I'm going to give you a book that says, I'm Not Sorry for My Mistakes by Dickson Mushabe, who is here with us tonight. So, please go and make mistakes. Don't be sorry, but please get the wisdom from tonight. Let's appreciate these guys everyone one more time. Thank you so much for coming tonight at Power Sex Money. And if you are watching online, thank you so much for being with us online. Please let us know what is happening in your country. If it's winter, we are having a wonderful time. It's evening time here, W Cafe, and you can actually contact us and give us some feedback over the WhatsApp line that is going to be placed on the bottom of the screen. And please invite as many people. Come on, everyone. Let's welcome our online listeners, watchers today. And probably my children, you're watching, you're supposed to be going to bed in 30 minutes from now, but thank you so much for watching tonight. Thank you. Now, let me take my seat tonight and get the show going. The poll question said, Vision 2040 for Uganda says this, that we are going to become a middle class country by 2040. Whose responsibility is this? Now, by show of hands, how many of you said it's Mr. Trump? All right, some of you didn't say that. How many of you said it's the church? All right, a few of you think the church is responsible. And how many of you said the government? You are the reason that we are here tonight. And of course, some of you who just want to be holy, play it all night, you say, it's me. How many of you say it's your responsibility to make Vision 2040 come to pass? I'm so glad that you're here tonight, and I want you to be a part of what is taking place tonight by going onto our social media. Please tweet, let everybody know what is happening here. The hashtag is Power Sex Money, not Power Sex and Money like Pastor Ken was saying. It's Power Sex Money. And if you want to ask any question, get onto our WhatsApp line that is going to be showing on the screen. Let me get it right here. Our WhatsApp line is I can't see it here, but it's going to be coming up on the line on the screen. Please ask any question, because in the second segment of tonight's show, you will be able to get some answers to some of your questions. So get onto Twitter, tweet whatever you're learning, let your friends know what's taking place tonight, but also get onto WhatsApp and ask any question that you want. Now, tonight we have 3 special panelists tonight. And to begin with, I want all of you to put your hands together for a man that has written this book, I Am Not Sorry That I Have Made Mistakes. Come on, put your hands together for Dickson Mushabe as he comes on the stage. Here we go. Come on, let's clap until he comes. Thank you, Mr. Dickson Mushabe. You can sit on this red chair over there. And now Dickson is the co-founder and CEO of Hostelite, one of the leading web hosting, design, and software companies in East Africa. Founder member of SME Association of Uganda and the member of Policy Framework, best-selling author 2015 of the book I'm Not Sorry for My Mistakes. Now, that sounds very arrogant, sir. You are not sorry for your mistakes. But anyway, would you please introduce yourself to just say hello to everybody who's listening in tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. You didn't clap when they were giving that intro. Come on. Give that. Thank you. Hi to all who are watching us from Facebook Live, Watoto. Glad to be here. Dickson Mushabe, a born-again Christian, a business hustler. Yes, I've hustled all my way to here, and I'll give you my story.
Awesome. Let's appreciate Dickson Mushabe as he... And please sit comfortably, relax. I'm not sorry. I also put that seat right there for you.
Thank you.
Today we are going to have a wonderful time. And so, Dickson, you've written a book. I've read part of it, and there is a wonderful story. And if you're interested in this book, you can find it at the end of this show tonight. And Dickson will be signing autographed books in the foyer, so you can find him there. But in that book, there's lots of counsel. You said you are a financial counselor or an advisor, but you've gone through some stuff. Now, in Uganda,
yes,
every year we have about 250,000 people who graduate from university.
Sure, true.
Now, it is said there are about 120 jobs. That means it leaves a shortage of about 130,000 people that have no jobs.
Yes.
So, you are a graduate, isn't it?
Yes.
And in your book, I read about the story you were in the university hall, and we used to call you goats, something like that, right?
Yeah, yes, goats, but that's for here.
That is for here, right? So how many of you are from the university hall? Goats?
In university hall, I think you are very few guys. Let me see those hands up. Hey, babe. All right.
Wonderful.
Yes.
But I want you to just tell us your story. How did it begin? You are the CEO of a very formidable company. I've read about it. You are a host to over about, I think, 80 companies, including government agencies here and there.
Yes.
So we can look at you today. You have a shiny haircut, Nvidi's natural.
Thank you.
And we can look at you, and you have arrived, and many of us want to become like you.
Yes.
But I believe it didn't begin this way. How
Yes.
did this dream begin?
Thank you so much. Do you have hustlers in the house? If you know, do you have them in the house? Let me tell you guys, tell your neighbor, you're seeing me right now like how I am. Watch me next year. Watch me next year. Because what I'm going to get today, don't make me the same. So guys, let me tell you. Let me give you my story. Of course, you can see me here with all these introductions, with all that you can see, and think that that's how I started. No, this is 8 years later. 8 years later. So, do not think of driving the car Dickson's driving right now. When you just left campus yesterday, that means you will try to cut corners. My story is simple. I joined campus as a government-sponsored student. Someone say he's sharp. Yes, because I was on government, and government then was for sharp students. Well, I was blessed to be on government sponsorship. They used to give us money for
Faculty
allowance. Hey, Tim, I think you're also on government sponsorship. How did you know?
For me, I bought my first phone, but you did something better than me. So today,
exactly. I didn't buy a phone. I didn't buy the fridges that people bought. I didn't buy anything. I went and started a business. I bought a salon in Wandegia, a barber shop in Wandegia. By the way, I've just grown tall. I was like a short guy like this, so you'd find me in Wandegia hustling with landlords, you know, but I was that young, but I was focused. I knew where I was going. I knew if I invested that money 5 years later, I would be buying any other phone, whatever I needed. So what did I do? I invested. It was 350,000 Uganda shillings. 350,000 Uganda shillings. That's what I got. Good enough. Someone was going to UK for JO during the break, and he sold his salary. He wanted money for an air ticket. So I gave him the money. He went. Part of the money he went, and I stayed with the business. It was a serious hustle. I would leave. I would leave class, come and supervise my businesses. But that's how I started. It grew from where it was and expanded. I now bought a video library. Now, guys, if you are not my friend, then you didn't watch videos, because I would give movies to all my friends. And thank you for letting me down. Thank you for killing all my businesses, because you came and took all my movies, and I was so generous. By the way, I'm very generous. I think if there's a place for generous guys in heaven, I should be there already. But I gave movies for free. So now, that's it. Those are mistakes I talk about in my book. Very many mistakes that we do here. And they are simple mistakes like just opening a bank account. I didn't have a bank account. I had all my money in my, guys, I was loaded. Forget your money. I was a campuser with a nice phone. When business picks up, bought a nice phone with 50,000 airtime. I had an Alcatel DB. Who remembers an Alcatel? Exactly. I had an Alcatel DB. And that money, I mean, 50,000, if I had saved for next 3 months, about 500,000, I would buy an acre of land somewhere in Zimbabwe. Therefore, but I did not buy land. I did not do anything. But I was happy to have money on me, cash on me. That's how I would spend it with you, my friends who are with me then. Then I still expanded and grew. But finally, my businesses all collapsed in one day. I expanded. I had a video for hire. I had CD writing. I had tents for hire. I was a tycoon. But all the money was wasted, completely wasted. I didn't have a mentor. Thank God for Watoto to organize such a show where you can be empowered. I had never listened to someone tell me, Dickson, you're earning, your video library makes about, even if it's 30K per day, save at least 1,000, even if it's 2,000. I never had someone tell me. So I would make mistakes, bang, I would call guys, take them out, actually thank God I was born again. With the money I had, if I wasn't born again, I wouldn't be here. Because I had all the avenues to get spoiled. But the power of God helped me. The fear of God helped me to keep focused. Even in my spending, I spent in the right direction with the right people. But they still ate the money. So, fast forward, my business collapsed towards the end when we were about to finish campus. They collapse. On collapsing, I now go back to zero and now start thinking, how am I going to make the money? How am I going to start afresh? So now I got a window period. One of my company was when we were about to close. I decided to get money out of goodwill and start Hostelite. But you see, one day it was baptism by fire. I made all the mistakes and told myself, if I start another company, I won't make any of these mistakes. And even when I was grasping with no money, those friends of mine who used to come for movies, no one ever showed up. No one ever showed up to say, Dickson, can you have this? The guys who used to come for free movies and who used to come for free movies for movies at half price. No one ever looked out for me. So let me tell you guys, how many of you are on WhatsApp? Of course. How many of you are on WhatsApp? How many are on WhatsApp? I'm asking. Okay, thank you. Now let me tell you, if you're starting business, get the WhatsApp friends, put them on the WhatsApp side. Get the business friends like Dickson's who you meet and who you meet and discuss business, put them on the side. When you meet Dickson's, even if they are 5, talk real business. When you meet the WhatsApp friends, assume you've not been these guys. Have fun. But separate those guys because they are going to kill your business. They killed all my businesses. But I'm happy. I'm happy that I learn from my businesses. I share my experience on social media. I share everywhere I go, so that you don't repeat any of my mistakes. I didn't have a mentor. I would make mistakes. I would go, bump, come back. I would go, make a mistake, lose money, come back, start. Make a mistake, lose money, come back, start. But if someone had told me, if someone had, I wish I had this, something like this to tell me, man, just separate your friends, don't expand like this, manage your employees very well, stuff like that. I would be very far. I would be very, very far. So those of you who are starting businesses, look for someone to mentor you. Read about the mistakes people have made so that you don't repeat them. Of course, I know businesses change and times change, but the principles do not change. The principle of saving, the principle of having book accounts for your business, the principle of separating friends, the principle of saving, the principle of advertising and marketing, they don't change. But times change. So I moved to start Hostelite. From one Dickson Mushabe, in a room, we were about 4 guys in the same room, same office. So mine was a desk with a laptop. But why did I start Hostelite? I used to surf online about web hosting companies in the US. They would pop up, GoDaddy would pop up. Then I figured, which one is in Uganda? As I don't see any company in Uganda which I would say is top number in Uganda. I made a wish to myself and I told myself, start a web hosting company so that you don't have to announce it to anyone who has just reached in Uganda. Identified that gap, and the rest is history. We are arguably among the top 5 in East Africa. That is Hostelite. Where are the hands? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're among the top. I'm just not bragging, but I'm telling you that starting from me to now servicing, actually Pastor Eddie mentioned 8,000 clients. We are servicing over 3,000 clients in the entire world. But they didn't come with hands today.
Of course, the answer is off. Let's appreciate Dickson right now. Now, if you want to find the real story, buy this book. You will learn, you will hear his story. Sorry, not here. Read the story, but also some business principles. Now, here in Uganda, we've had many times this phrase, "Tusaba Uganda government etuyambe." It looks like people in this country have given up, and it's like the government is responsible even of getting food from the plate and putting it into my mouth. To the point that the big guy has to be in every village in this country solving problems. And you are saying, people may look at you, of course, you have a big business right now. Somebody could be unemployed and they don't have any money on them. So how can they save without money? Isn't it right that the government should first give them faculty allowance? Like you, for them. I mean, they don't have money. How can they actually become like you? Briefly.
Yeah, thank you. I get this startup capital question comes every time. But you see the challenge with us youth, we go asking for money. If you go asking for money, you won't get it. Go offering something, then they'll give you the money. What do you have to offer in return for my money? You're at home, you have a neighbor who takes kids to school every day, and instead of going to tell them, can I take your kids for 1 year, and you give me my money up front, but you go there looking for money. Go ask, can I bring your grocery for you every day and give me 30,000 per day for a year? I mean, for per week. How much is that? How much is that in a year? Maybe it's $1 million. Give it to me up front, but for me, I'll bring your grocery every week for a whole year. I'll give you the capital.
So you're saying, if we can be creative to find something to do, a service to offer, because
yes.
there's lots of things people can do,
Yes.
then we can be paid. Because you're
Yes.
right. I think last year in the national budget, there was a youth fund that was given to different, gombololas and KCCA. And the report is the youth went and picked the money, and they have nothing to show today. Because there's a feeling that, give me the money and I will produce vision. But you're saying, have a vision, then money will show up.
Will show up, yes.
Awesome. Now, I want us to, at this moment, to invite the second person to come to the stage, join us here. And I want you to put your hands together for Daphne Natangaza from Kaveli Restaurant. Please put your hands together and invite her on the stage. Come on, come on. Give it up for her. Please feel free to sit in a comfortable place. And we are sorry. Not sorry. We are sorry. The seats are very small. But we wanted comfort and closeness. Daphne, welcome. Okay? Just keep saying maybe the microphone is going to come on at some point. There we go. There we go. You are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. I think you need to clap for her one more time. She needs to feel comfortable. Just get that microphone just close to the mouth. Now, Daphne, I met you probably early this year. And through my conversations as a pastor, I always ask questions. That's how I get to know people. Ask questions. And I discovered, actually, you are the managing director of Kaveli. And you are not yet 30 years old.
Yes.
And some young people can become haters because of that. But you know what? It's very easy for people to hate you without knowing what took you where you are. I want you to briefly share with everybody who's listening right now, watching, even online, how did you get to become the managing director? There must have been a journey, and let's take it from there.
Okay. My name is Daphne Natangaza. First, let me say hi to my people who came to support me. Hi, Simon, Rowena, and Duchess. Yes. I'm Ugandan. I left, I was in school in Uganda till 13, moved to Kenya to continue school. I think that's when I realized that something needed to change, because here in school, I think if you're not good at math and you're not good at science, there's almost no space for you. So I'm not good at math and I'm not good at science. So I thought I would finish school one day and maybe just work in an office for the rest of my life and just see where that takes me. But when I got there, kids were challenging teachers, kids were speaking back, kids had minds of their own, they were challenged to be creative, to think for themselves, and I thought, wow, okay, so kids actually matter. So from then on, I went to the UK. I did finish high school, I did university, I did business and law. I finished that, and then I thought, okay, so what am I going to do? I could come back home. I could ask for a job anywhere, because I think when people come back from abroad, they feel almost entitled to a job immediately. They feel like they have the upper hand on people here, which is not necessarily true, because if you can't apply what you've learned, then you might as well be at the same level as someone who didn't do anything. So I thought, but what am I good at? What am I passionate about? And I thought, I work hard, and I can work long hours. And so what can I do with that? And then I thought hospitality. That's how I ended up in the hospitality industry. I found a place to study. I went back abroad. I went to a country where I couldn't speak the language, which was a big mistake. So if you can learn languages, do it. I went to Switzerland and I couldn't speak a word of French, which was very difficult. I studied and then I got an internship. I couldn't understand when the chef was telling me to carry a plate, and when he was telling me to put food on the plate. I was the only black girl there. So they used to call me Black Girl. So in French, which sounds funny, but I think if you're in an environment where it's already harsh for women, so if you're called the Black Girl, it either demoralizes you or it pushes you. So it pushed me. I was always the first one at work. I was always the last one. I worked hard and I earned the respect of the people who were working beside me. In the end, I finished my internship and I left. And then I came back home and I was like, so what can I do with what I've learned? I can't build a hotel. I am not qualified to even manage anything, really.
But before you say that, before coming back, I mean, we have people in church who are always saying, I'm praying for the visa, Pastor, breakthrough, visa. You are already in the green pastures, Switzerland. Yeah. I mean, you could have had a Swiss account. Instead of eating a Rolex, you would be wearing a Rolex, you know, and also as a chef probably make a Rolex, you know, double Rolex. I mean, you're out there. I mean, what's wrong with you coming back to Uganda? Yeah. When there are job offers in Switzerland.
Yes, there was an opportunity to stay. I think if I wanted to, I could have stayed for sure. But then again, I always think about this thing called the brain drain, where they say people go out there and they learn and they stay there and nothing comes back here. So I thought if I can come back and make a small difference, then it would be worth everything that I've done. Wow. So yeah, fast forward, I then decided maybe I can open a bakery because my dad said, I want good healthy bread. Healthy bread is most known in Germany. So I studied how to make bread. Fast forward, I studied how to make pastry. I learned how to make pastries, which was very difficult again. I had an internship, unpaid again. Again, first one there, last one there, doing things I didn't feel I was qualified to do because I think most of you know in Europe, at the age of 16, you decide what you're going to do and you do it. So people who you're baking alongside have been baking since they were 13. So you cannot compete with such a person. You can't say you even know half of what they know. So again, I was always at the bottom, but always trying to learn. Then I got the opportunity to go to America. I went there. I studied again culinary. So yeah, it's been a lot of studying. It's been a lot of studying.
I think I'm really jealous. Your husband is going to be fed, you know, pastries.
He is,
steaks,
he is.
everything.
Yeah.
I hate that guy already. So man, no, just kidding.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You were saying? Okay.
So studied that. Got a job in what was one of the hardest kitchens I have ever been in my life.
Was it like Hale's Kitchen?
Similar,
right?
As similar as
DNA.
it can be. Yes, as similar as it can be, but realistic. I used to work, I think, 14 hours, non-stop. Very, 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 very heavy pressure. They tell you what to do, you should be doing it before they've even finished telling you what to do. So those are the kind of things that, you know, push. And again, I was the only black girl, but they didn't call me black girl because America is politically correct. So they always kind of gave me more because when they see you can do more, they give you more. And so in the end, after that, they told me if you could stay, it would be good. And I always have that thing where wherever you go, they should miss you. Like they should want you to stay. Again, it was unpaid. First one there, last one out. And by the time I left, I felt like, okay, I actually did my best there. And I think sometimes that's the most you can do.
Wow, that's awesome. Because, awesome. Because you hear this language again in Uganda about your last name, connections, you know, getting you the job, getting you anywhere. And it's happening in our country today, really. And probably you find people who are half-baked in jobs they don't deserve. But what I'm hearing from you is you decided that your work should speak for itself rather than your name or who you're connected to. And I think that's an amazing thing. So, Fast forward, you said, okay, they have offered you a job. You're like, I'm coming back to Uganda.
Yes, I'm coming back to Uganda because all that was to build Kaveli. And then, yeah, so came back, constructed something again from nothing. 3 years later, Kaveli is now 5 months old. And I'm at the top of a company with 40 employees, which is still hard to believe. I'm very unqualified for sure, in the sense that I haven't been doing this for 20 years, and
you're young.
And I'm young, and I'm a woman, and yeah, all the things that seemingly put people down. But I think it's where God wants me for sure.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, again, Tusaba government at Yambe. When I hear what you're saying, you're like, you took responsibility for your life instead of waiting for fate. But also here at church, we have people who just want to pray, and money, dollars, pounds will just drop from heaven and drop, bang, you know. And so I think when I'm hearing your stories, both of you, it's like you took responsibility for your destiny, because there is something unique on the inside everybody, which I think is true to all of us. And so let's go ahead a little bit in your story. Now, you say that you wanted to make a difference in Uganda. What kind of difference is that? Is it to grow a big restaurant and have a big name? What is that?
I think, yes, okay, that. But also, mostly, I want to give people the opportunities that I don't think I had, in the sense that there's so much focus on finish school, and you should finish school, but not the whole. I mean, when I think about the subjects that we learn, SST, and things that will never mean anything.
British Columbia.
Yes. And
I'm telling you, by S4, I could draw the map of North America, including New York, Manhattan Island, every bridge, Empire State Building, and I'd never seen it. And then later, by God's grace, when I traveled, I'm like, oh, this is it all along. Then I saw those logs going on the rivers. I'm like, wow, these are the things I was studying. Useless. And I don't know how long River Nile is. I'm thinking, and I don't even want to go to the Nile, but I just want to go anyway. You want to give people opportunities, and how has that worked out in your life today?
So at Kaveli, what we try to do is we try to have trainees, those who are both in the industry and those who may not be. So they come, we take them in for 3 months. Again, it's unpaid, but we give them food, which I think is bigger than most places would. And we give them transport, because people need something. But we teach them everything we know. If I know something, if I see something, I teach them. And it doesn't matter what background they're from, it doesn't matter who they know, it doesn't matter who's their uncle. If they have a good attitude, that's the biggest thing for us.
Wow. That is so great. Not only are you saying, I won't wait for the government to fix my problems, I'm going to fix my problems, but also you're beginning to empower people, which is really an amazing thing. And it's a biblical principle: when you give, actually, even you get more. And yet, I can guarantee that you have not even begun making profits, because you have made a heavy investment, but you're still giving away. And I think that is a great attribute. Can we give it up for Daphne right now? So before I invite the next person, let me come back to, I'm not sorry, I made mistakes. Mr. X. And is this your first book that you published?
Yes, it's my first book.
Aren't you sorry that you should have been really having like 10 books already? So, I know probably from your story, I got the impression that you had that spirit of becoming an entrepreneur. That's what Joel Senyon told us the last time. Yes. Entrepreneur.
Yes, that word.
That one, to start business. Now in Uganda, it is said that the birth rate of businesses is so high, but also the death rate of businesses is also so high. Is it because people think is success only in the business world? What about people who feel like for whom they are called to be employees? Is that wrong? Because we could leave this place and we think the only thing to do is to start a business? Do you have to be an entrepreneur to succeed in Uganda?
Not necessarily. We have successful employees. Yes, we have successful employees. We have employees who are dedicated to their work. Because right now, she's employing a number of people. 40-something people. So who would be working? But the challenge we have is when someone is given a job, they still do not work to the expectation of the employer. So even what would have been saved by the employee is killed and the business dies, and that's why even the business are business are dying. So you need to decide either you want to do employment or you want to go entrepreneurship. Once you decide, whatever you decide on, do it, give it your best. If you're doing your boss's business as an employee, give it your best as if it is yours, because it feeds you, feeds your family, it feeds everyone and your people in the village, those you send mobile money to.
So give it your best, because
give it your best.
Now some of you have you're fighting the demons of being employers.
Yes.
Because recently this year,
yes,
there's a time when Eid was presumed to going to happen around the weekend, and Christians prayed. They prayed for Eid to be on Monday, to have an extended weekend. They prayed, and when they had our friends doing their thing, and it's for Sunday, they were cussing WhatsApp friends. Oh, we gave you Good Friday. We gave you Easter Monday. Why didn't you give us Monday? So what you're saying is, if we cannot be good employees, actually we can become good employers at some point. Because if you're not faithful in another person's business, then how can you be faithful in your own business?
Yes.
And so we need to work on the work ethic so that we can take this nation where we need to be going. We need to be working hard 14 hours. And I think if up to now you look like you're working 16 hours, I think you need to start resting a little bit, But the business is beginning, so you have to work a little bit harder. I want to go invite our next panelist on the stage. I would like you to put your hands together and welcome Bella Nyakato. Please put your hands together for Bella Nyakato. Awesome. And because you are a twin, you confused me. So you came with your twin on the other side. Then I was like, now who is this one? So that means in high school, probably one sinned, one got the punishment. So you played a little bit.
We both got punished, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Bella Nakato. Nyakato is from the west, from the Watoto. Kabaroni. Nyakato. Anyway, let's not go there.
Okay.
So Bella Nakato, she is the business owner, the CEO of Mviri za Nacho.
Yes. Thank you.
EZNOEZN Mviri za Nacho. And if you go online as Mviri za Nacho, but with Nacho, make sure it's like Nacho Monreal of Arsenal. NACHO, not Nacho, KYO.
Nacho, like how we say it.
Nacho.
Nacho. So
Mviri za Nacho.
NACHO.
And some of the goodies that we gave out today were from her shop. And thank you so much for being generous for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So we can look at you today. You have a shop. You're looking good. Nacho, everything, and Mviri nazo Nacho. Some of us need some Nacho,
already have Nacho.
And also actually I love the product. There's one product I'm going to get. It's called King's Beard Balm.
Yes.
So if you want to look like me and have a King's Beard, I think you should get free samples so I can advertise for you every PSN here.
You already have. I think someone already got also, but you already have.
All right, let's get the microphone close to you. Now,
All right.
quickly, if you can just tell us, yes, you have a company, you are selling some stuff, and things look like they're working for you, but definitely you all began from somewhere. It's like a seed that has blossomed today. I want us to hear about how it all began. And I like it to begin from university and how you qualified somewhere, but things just worked out. So can you please tell us your story?
All right. Thanks for having me. It's my first time to be here at Power, Sex and Money. But my sister's been here before and she had an amazing time. And she shared with me, and then I watched all the Facebook videos. So it's really a privilege to be here in front of you. I don't take it for granted to be able to share with you. My name is Annabella Nakato, Bella, and I run Envidies and Nacho. So let's start from the beginning, right? All right, so when we grew up in Nankulabye, some part of Kampala, and our mom is a lecturer in Chambogo University. So our mom is the kind of mom who supplemented her income with poultry farming, right? So we would be the people in holidays, we wake up at 4 a.m., there's chicken that have been cut and we have to remove feathers. That was our life. To get school fees for S5, for S6. And we went to pretty powerful schools, yeah? So there's the privilege of us studying in that Nabingo, in St. Lawrence, in Nakasero, in Kampala Parents. So that also gave us a foundation. So when we went to university, of course we wanted to go to Makerere, definitely. But because our mom studied in Chambogo, we got a chance to go, since she was a lecturer, sorry, she didn't study, she was a lecturer. So her kids could get in under a subsidized fee. So we went to Chambogo University, and when we were leaving, when we were going that day, she was like, Vana Bange, this is it. Like, there is no rich uncle. There is no hidden kafan somewhere to start your businesses. This is it. Literally, because of this job, you're going to university. So, on this day, as you're leaving, everything, like you guys have to run the show now. So when we went to campus, we were doing courses we didn't really see a future in, but because we got in, you know that feeling, right? Where you're like, okay, let me just...
Those courses called flat courses, according to us.
Aha. So we didn't really see, I was doing a diploma in interior design, and my sister was doing secretarial studies. Yeah, we were so not going there. So we decided to figure out a way to make ourselves distinguished, to make ourselves desirable to the market. We didn't know how. We were commuting from our brother's house because it was the nearest. And yeah, so let's do your phrase. Fast forward, I heard of an organization called ISEC. It's a youth organization found in different countries around the world where they volunteer and go for internships. If you're still in university, please check it out. So when I found out about ISEC because of free food. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But I found these youth who were talking about projects that were changing lives, entrepreneurship. They were doing projects around HIV/AIDS. They were doing projects around things that mattered, things that made a difference. And they were involving youth from around the world. That was it. So I decided to announce, since I'm crazy like that, to announce that I'm going to start ISEC in Chambogo. People died. They laughed. They were like, Chambogo, there's only matures. I was like, no, there are some youth here and there. So when I said I would start it and people laughed, I said, in 1 year, give me 1 year, I'm going to make it the best ISEC local chapter in Uganda. That means we have the most quality products, most quality experiences by youth. Fast forward, I did that. So we volunteered in ISEC for 3 years, and ISEC is not an easy thing. You're literally, because my parents had no money. We were not jumping on planes. We would go to people's offices to fundraise to go to a conference in Kenya. And people are like, are you serious? You want to vacation on my money? Do it. So you had to sell the product, the project, and also yourself. You had to become a CEO of your project in campus. And ISEC is not an excuse for you to let go of your studies. We had to excel to be in ISEC. A quick story. Chambogo is full of engineering students mainly, and people who have done agriculture. So these people, of course, when I recruited, I went for my Buddha friends first, and I'm like, guys, Isaac, I've discovered something. It's going to save us. You know, these are the first friends who are like, no, thank you, I'm an engineer. I'm set. 4 or 5 years later, these are people asking me for jobs. Understand that you cannot depend on one lone skill to be competitive in the market. Yeah, and it's credit to you that you're here today instead of wherever you could have been, because this means you're searching for something extra. This means you're seeing a gap, you know. And so figuring out the gap for me was I am a kingmaker. I am the person who sees the talent and develops the talent to take on the throne. So those experiences enabled me to tap into my own, strengths, and first give a break to my weaknesses. So fast forward, if you want the in-depth story, WhatsApp me.
All right, Bella, before we go there, and I want us to get out of Uganda a little bit from there because of time. Right. And please, send your questions on our WhatsApp number. It's going to show up on the screen. It's going to show up on Facebook. Wherever you are, please tweet. Get onto social media. Let everybody know what's happening here. So please ask your questions, because after the break, we shall be answering your questions from these amazing panelists. So Isaac is done. You graduate. And was it a PhD? What kind of qualification did you get? And from there, where did you go?
All right. So I graduated with a diploma in interior design from Chambogo. That was the second year it had ever been there. So after the diploma, I decided to go do a volunteer experience in Indonesia. I went there for a year, and I saw the Asian scope of things, how they do big things, like with little to no money, little to no space. After there, I came back home, and then I was scouted to go work in the Middle East in Oman. All this is through Isaac, by the way. I'm still an Isaac intern. Yeah? So after going to Oman, and I got 2 years working in Oman and working in PR and communications. Okay. The trick is, when I joined Isaac, I did not want to stay in interior design only. I wanted to do PR and comm. So after my experience in Indonesia, after my experience in Oman, I resigned from Oman because there was I had so many bad experiences with racism, being spat on, pushed out of malls, guys soliciting you for sex in the middle of the street because you're black, so definitely you're in the Middle East for prostitution, even if you're dressed very decently and professionally. So after a while, I decided to come home. I spent about a month home, and I got an opportunity to go work and do PR at Electrolux at head office of Electrolux in Stockholm, Sweden.
Now this is a Fortune 500 company.
Yes.
In Sweden.
Yes.
Don't just adjust.
It is a Fortune 500 company, and the people who apply for these jobs are people with masters in PR, masters in the top of their class from around the world. You're applying with 350 other people, and then they call Yunga. You're in the village. You have a kalesu, and they tell you you've been selected out of 350 people. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You're like, me? No, my name is Annabella Nakato, the Ugandan. Yes.
All right, let's go to the experience there. So I know it's amazing. It's a story. So, okay, here you are in Sweden. Of course, you're not in Sweden anymore. Again, it's crazy for you to leave Sweden, come back here in the godforsaken, highly indebted, poor country, a fifth. They say we are a fifth, something that behaves like a third world country. I mean, like, you were crazy coming back to Uganda now. First, tell us, there are some things that happened when you were in Sweden that really caused you to come. Those conversations, please.
All right. So whenever we would hang out as interns, of course the Africans would sit together. But the only thing we would talk about is Africa's problems. Have you heard what Museveni has done? Have you heard what's happening in Nigeria? Literally every day of the year, we would eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. We would go hang out in different, club hangouts. They would take us, Manya, you've gone to check out this new, I don't know, they would have different sort of settings. And Africans would sit together to talk about problems. That's all. So on Christmas, on New Year's, in the middle of the year, at the end of the year, in summertime, in winter, that's the only thing we do what? We revise. So after 2 years, I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, yes, we get some of our salary and send it home, but we are still part of the problem. We are still perpetuating this reliance on others. So I handed in my resignation, decided to come back home and start Enviriza Natural. At that time, it was just a Facebook page. We would meet about natural hair. Like, there's a time even on Twitter, they were like, hey, now we're meeting about hair. Next thing, we'll meet about nails. Like, they came for me and I was like, our hair is more than just hair. It is a mosaic of our culture. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It shows where we're going when we think straight. Unhealthy hair is beautiful. I don't mind the healthy, yeah? But if majority is unhealthy, there is a disconnect. It shows how we desire others or how we treasure others to be more than we are. This is my grandmother's hair. This is the hair I'll probably give to my kids. It's not going anywhere. It keeps growing. You know what I mean? Like there's growth. Eh? So if you notice, in the daily things, in the everyday stuff, that's where the secret, the magic is. That's where the change needs to be. In the stuff you think is just for just. There is no just for just. You're choosing.
So from my conversation earlier with you, all right, let's appreciate her, Annabella Nakato. It seems to me you found your uniqueness in some of the experiences you had. And I mean, there's a reason why you say Enviriza Natural. You are talking about problems on the other side, but you say, you know what, let me come back to Africa and be a solution. I mean, you had no money. Probably you had some,
I had savings, but after 2 months, everyone had taken, like everyone would come, hey, you're from where? Okay, Nyambako, I want a laptop, I want a phone. So I literally ended up with
nothing. And so from what I'm reading from this conversation that we're having up here is all of you had something on the inside of you that was you are trying to release to the outside rather than waiting for something to come from outside to the inside. Because most people know Africans for Jiv. That's why on the poll we said Trump. And the reason I said Trump because Trump says America what? First. Jiv. It was Obama. That something was going to be like 90%. No. But the whole idea that I'm seeing from you is that you realized